Mike Tomlin. Let's address some stuff about Mike Tomlin. I think everybody likes Mike Tomlin. Let me not say everybody. The majority of Steeler fans, we like Mike Tomlin. We love Mike Tomlin. And if Mike Tomlin changed his philosophy on how to win football games, I think everybody would be fine. Because number one, I think the Steelers would win more. But two, I think people would like that because football has changed. And for so long, Tomlin hasn't been willing to change with it. And what I mean by that is, you can't win 17-14 anymore in the National Football League. That doesn't work. You can win games. You can have a 500 record or above, or just above, but you're not going out there. You're not winning playoff games that way. You're not winning Super Bowls that way. We like Mike Tomlin. And the thing about him, players all across the league are going to say, I would love to play with Mike Tomlin. That's true. I mean, but at the same time, we're Steeler fans. We want to win. And we don't care who the coach is. We would love it for it to be Mike Tomlin. But if it isn't, okay, fine. Just find me a coach that can win. That's what I want. And it's time for him to do that. It's just time. Enough of the BS. Enough of the BS. Now, the one thing that I will give Mike Tomlin credit for is that the Steelers went through a rebuild, and maybe we're still in it, and we're still able to stay afloat as far as a record-wise, being at or above 500. 17 straight seasons without a losing record. That sounds great, and it is great, but as the Steeler fans, do we care? I mean, just be honest. Do we care? Because my answer is no. I'm over that. I'm over that. Okay? Am I out here calling for Mike Tomlin to be fired? No, I'm not saying Mike Tomlin needs to be fired, but I think Mike Tomlin needs to win. I think he needs to win a playoff game, or we got to start looking in a different direction. I think the Rooneys are saying the exact same thing. They're talking about giving him a contract extension in July. Well, why do you have to wait until July? Why can't the contract extension come today? I mean, why do you have to wait till July? Is there something in his contract that says you can't extend him until then? I'm guessing not. And I also wouldn't be mad if the Rooneys didn't extend him at all and say, prove it. You put players on prove it deals. It's time for the coach to be on a prove it deal. I'm okay with that. Look, I don't want to lose Mike Tomlin because I think he's a good coach, but only if he changes his philosophy. Enough with trying to win, playing solid defense, play okay football, okay offensive football, play good special teams, and try to make a play at the end and win 17-14. What's wrong with winning 30-15? What's wrong with winning 30-27? Don't you win? Go score some more points. And look, I know, hey, Brian, what are you talking about? A win's a win. And it is. A win is a win. But you have to be willing to dive in those high-scoring weeds to be able to win the games that you need to win. That's just the way football is played now. We don't have to like it, but that's the rules. Especially since they changed all these rules against defenses, it's time the Steelers start to lean into this offensive stuff. It's time to lean in. Arthur Smith got to open up the playbook. Throw the ball down the middle of the field. Lord have mercy. It's time for that. And that's the thing about Mike Tomlin. And maybe he is being open to it. Maybe he's changing. You know, maybe that's the thing. Is like, you know what? I've got to do something different. Hired somebody from outside, from within, that he didn't know, he wasn't familiar with, to be the offensive coordinator. I like those approaches. But it's time for Mike Tomlin to do the job. Like I said, he's done an outstanding job of going through this rebuild and still keeping the Steelers competitive. Most franchises don't do that. Most franchises win 4 games, 3 games when they're trying to rebuild. But is that a curse? Because I've said this once, and you guys will hear me say this an awful lot. Mediocrity is the death of every franchise. Let me repeat that so everybody hears me clearly. Mediocrity, which is having an 8-8 or a 9-8 record, is the death of every franchise. Look, I think it's just time that Mike Tomlin does his thing, man. I really do. He's a good coach, but we got to win a playoff game. We got to win a playoff game. We got to start showing some strides. And that's kind of my closing arguments here. is that Steelers have a real opportunity here to be good. They have an opportunity. Look, they're not paying a quarterback a ton of money, so that's not hamstrunging us. Our defense is the most expensive defense in the league. Do we need a middle linebacker? Yeah. And a corner? Yeah. We need some things. We have holes, but we can still fix those holes. Does the offensive line still need to be rebuilt? Yeah. We need a tackle. We need a center. But the Steelers got an opportunity here, people. We do. And we got to lean into it. I love what Omar Khan has been doing so far. He's willing to go out there and and say and do the things that are necessary for the Steelers to win. Enough of this is the Steeler way. It's always been this way. We got no. Enough of that. It doesn't work. Look at Bill Belichick, the Patriot way. Was it more Tom Brady? Probably. We saw that. But they won 6 titles in his tenure. Doing it the Patriot way. Well, as soon as things fell apart, they got rid of him. Now, again, I'm not saying that we got to get rid of Mike Tomlin, but if we're going to continue to do it the Steeler way, well, what if the Steeler way isn't working? Because to me, continuously being 9-8, 10-7, not winning a playoff game, that's not working. 7 years without a playoff victory, that's despicable. And everybody knows it. We have an opportunity. It's time for the Steelers to lean into that opportunity. And I think they will. I think this draft is going to be key. We're not done with free agency yet either, people. That's the thing. We're still not done. We've got other holes to plug. We've got depth to build, but the Steelers are on their way.